Hey y'all, it is day 5 of Vlogmas and I'm just gonna dive right in and tell you all of the things. So I had a pretty slow morning this morning, which was much needed. It is Tuesday, December 5th and it is 12:45 p.m. Normally I go walking or I work out with my friend Casey, and she has not been feeling good the last 2 days, so we haven't gone walking or worked out, which is okay with me because it's really cold. Like, it was below 30 this morning, and when it's below like 60 degrees, I'm cold. So I am drinking some hot tea right now to try to warm up. It's actually, I think it's in the 60s today, but my house doesn't really fluctuate with the temperature, so it's still really cold in my house. Because I didn't go walking this morning, I had some time to sit and get some things done. And it was such a mood boost to have some time to knit and crochet. Like, I did not know how much I needed that. I finally fixed my sock. I went knit crazy and went too far when I should have started the toe decrease. So I think it was at like a women's size 10. So I had to go all the way back to a 7.5. This morning when I didn't hear from Casey, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna finish this sock. I turned on the Crazy Sock Ladies Vlogmas. I hadn't seen a single one. I had just started watching a little bit of one of them the other night when I was editing videos. I don't remember what night it was, but I really couldn't pay attention to it because Samson was in and out and my husband was home. There was just a lot going on. So I just kind of had it on just to feel better that I was getting to watch some of it. Super excited with how this turned out. The other side's a little wild. This is where I was at on day 1 of Vlogmas, day 2, day 3, and this is where I started the toe decrease this morning. Now I'm confusing myself. I'm pretty sure I started the toe decrease this morning. This is where I started the toe decrease this morning. Once I finished this, I was like, okay, I am starting my Advent project, but I know myself enough that I needed to go ahead and cast on the next sock, because if I didn't, I don't know. I feel like I would have eventually started it because I really need some DK weight socks. I only have 2 pairs and it's cold and this is what I want to sleep in at night. So I feel like I would have. I just like to be in the habit of anytime I'm making a pair of something, when I finish one, immediately start the next one. So I went ahead and started the next sock. Then I decided I was going to go ahead and start a juniper cowl with my scrappy Advent swap. I'm so glad that I did. I did not get very far, but I got started, so that makes me really, really happy. I started with the gray yarn. I think this is the back of it. Yep, that's the back of it. This is what I have so far. Let me just tell you, the first few rounds of the juniper cowl are very challenging because you don't really have anything to hold on to. So it was a very slow go, but I know once I finish this row and I get a few rows going, it's smooth sailing from there. I'm hoping that I can get back to this project today, but I wanted to show off that I got started with my Advents, and so far, this is my plan for how I'm gonna pair the colors. I'm gonna go from gray to this color and then this color, I believe. That's my plan so far. I don't know if I want to put this in there because it's a different texture. I don't know if that's going to bother me or not. What would you do? Would you go ahead and add this one in there? If I do, I've got a mess. If I do, it would probably go up against that one because I think there's just a little pop of green. Yeah. So that's how it would go if I decide to put this one in there. I'm so cold today that I took my granny triangle shawl off my mannequin and I put up my juniper cowl that I made last year. So those of you that were not familiar with the juniper cowl, this is what it looks like. I think I have a picture of me wearing it, and I will post a couple of pictures in here of the ones that I've made. I made one for my mother-in-law and one for me, and I made one for my mom, but I think I forgot to take pictures of it. And she even reminded me when I was out there. Like, she handed it to me and said, "You wanted to take pictures of this while you were here." And I don't think I listened. Whoops. So that was about all the time I had this morning to just sit and knit or crochet, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like, I just wanted to sit there under my blanket with my dog and knit and crochet all day long. But adulting, I have a hair appointment at 3:30 today, and I am so excited. My hair is just getting nappy. It's getting to the length where it just doesn't want to do anything. It just needs freshened up. So I'm excited to go get my hair did, and I always do this fun thing right before I go get my hair done. I'm like, I should do something different. I should chop it off, or I should get a bunch of layers. And then I get there and she's like, all right, what do you want done today? I was like, oh, just trim the ends. I think it's been, I actually don't know when I got my hair cut last. Maybe it was earlier this year. I don't know. It's probably been a good 6 or 8 months. So looking forward to that today. And then I'm like a 90-year-old woman. I'm like, you know what? While I'm in town, I sound like I live like 40 miles from town and I've got to like hitch the horses to the wagon or something. But that's just how my brain is. I'm like, while I'm in town, I have a few groceries I need to get from the grocery store because the other 2 grocery stores we went to this weekend don't carry those products. So I went ahead and scheduled a pickup at Kroger. So after my hair appointment, I'm going to swing by there and pick that up and then come home. I have edited and uploaded day 4 of Vlogmas on YouTube, and let me just tell y'all about the challenges that I have been having. For my video tutorials and my podcast, I just use music. I think I have 2 or 3 favorite ones that I just kind of shuffle through that's available through the editing app that I use. And I have never had any kind of issue with copyright. And day 1, when I uploaded Vlogmas, I got an email saying that the music I used was copyrighted, that there wasn't an issue because my channel wasn't monetized. But when it gets to that point, those people will get the money from my videos. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not undoing it. So day 2, I was like, I'm going to be smart. I'm just going to edit the video and then upload it to YouTube and add music from there because YouTube has a library of royalty-free music that you can use. Oh my goodness. I don't know if it's me or I don't know if YouTube's editor isn't friendly. It could just be me because let me just tell you, technology and I, we are not very good friends. So I played around with it for I cannot tell you how long, and I was able to get the music on there, and it looked like I could trim it to where it would stop before I started talking, but whenever I would play it back, the music would just play over me talking. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I put it in private and I messed around with it for a while, and every time I edited it, it would say it would take a couple of hours to fix. I thought I got it literally my husband and I are eating supper, and usually like we don't have any electronics at the table when we eat. We don't have our phones with us. It's just me and him eating supper and talking or whatever. But I really wanted some time to sit and crochet, and I didn't want to be editing until it was time to go to bed. So I was like kind of talking to him, kind of fixing it, and I thought I fixed it and it didn't work. So finally he went to bed. But like this kept going, and I ended up in my recliner with the computer trying to fix it. Finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to what I know, and I'm just going to do it my way. So I deleted it and edited like I normally do. And I'm like, you know what? When it comes down to it, Vlogmas for me, it's not about monetizing my channel. Like, that's a goal of mine. Don't get me wrong. Like, eventually I would like to meet all the requirements to monetize my channel. And I'm actually really close. I'm like 1,100 watch hours away from meeting all the requirements. So that's really exciting. But at the end of the day, that's not what I'm doing Vlogmas for. I'm doing Vlogmas because I think they're fun to watch. And it's just my way of like keeping up with my community, and hopefully y'all enjoy them and I make it fun and brighten your day and share all the yarn things with you. So at the end of the day, that's my reason for doing Vlogmas, because I know I enjoy them from the people that I follow. I wanted to provide that for y'all. And I'm actually having fun, except for a few hiccups. It's actually a lot of fun for me. So I made an executive decision. I'm like, I don't care. If I get to the point where I monetize it, they can have that money. Just leave me alone. So that's where I landed. And that's just what I'm going to keep doing as long as I'm not going to get like fined, or they're not going to like ban my content or something. I'm just going to rock on with it because it's how I know how to do it. And here we are. Okay. I guess I had a lot to say about that. I think I really needed to get that out. I feel so good. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I have the video up. So I'm glad that is off of my to-do list for today. So now let's get to what y'all are really here for, right? The yarn. I just get so chatty. I have a list today because I feel like things are running together and I'm forgetting to tell y'all stuff, or I'm like repeating things that I've already said like 3 times. So I have a list today, but I forgot to put like actually talk about Advents on there. So let me share with you day 5's goodies. The first one is the Scrappy Advent, and look at that pretty color. And it had this adorable stitch marker in there. Yes, go lay down. So that was day 5, and I think if I decide not to put this yarn in there, it will look really good next to that. Or if I decide to, that'll look really good either way. So now I'm kind of leaning towards doing it. I don't know. We'll just play around with it. Let me know what you think. Day 5 of Ruby and Roses. Oh my goodness. Are you ready for this? Look at that. It's so weird because I don't really care for yellow or orange, but lately I've been on an orange kick. But all of these colors together are so gorgeous. I love adding yellow or orange or like a neon green at the end of a colorway. Like when I have all the other colors on the colorway, I love to add a pop of that. Every once in a while, I'll do a red. So it really does. It just ties all the other colors together and just makes everything pop. and she just blows me away with this colorway. Ooh, look at that. I can't wait to see this one worked up. So again, as I've said probably in the last two videos, leaning towards a Find Your Fade shawl. And isn't this cute? I've just got not my scrappy ones, I've got those in my project bag. But I just have these sitting here on my desk, and I had them organized, but we're gonna unorganize them. No, we're not. We're gonna leave it alone. I still think all of these will look gorgeous worked up together. They're just little floppy things. Okay, get my hands out of there. There we go. I love it. And now I really want to decide on a project. One of the things on my to-do list today is to go ahead and purchase the Find Your Fade shawl and just kind of look at it and make a decision, and to see if my favorite needles are not in a project. I think the needles that I'm going to need for that are currently being used in another shawl. And I really like my Likey blush set for shawls because they're wood and they're just so comfortable. They're not cold like the metal. I don't know. I just really, really love those for shawls. We'll see if I can get to that before I go get my hair did. The last advent is the ALC Yarns advent, and I think this was another one of my favorite colors from the advent colorways. Look at those speckles. This colorway is showing off because even though it's a dark base, those speckles are still showing off. And the extra little goodie are these handmade with love wooden buttons. There are like 3 of them in there. Oops, upside down. There we go. I think these two would be gorgeous paired together. And that one wouldn't be bad with it either. Because there's some, it looks like there's some of that blue in there. And that would be really pretty together. I don't really know. Let me see. I honestly think they would all be really pretty in a project together. When I dyed these, I did not intentionally try to dye them to all go in a project together because that would shut me down. Like, I would overthink it. All the colorways would probably come out very similar. So I'm just like, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to have fun and just not overthink it. And I feel like when I do that, I have way better results. So this was day 3 and it is called Showing Off. All right, those are my Advent goodies. This morning, as I was editing the day 4 Vlogmas, I was talking about coffee and I was like, I have a funny story about that. And then I finished what I was saying and I never said the funny story. So that's a funny story in itself. But I really wanted to tell the funny story. So I have on my little note here, I have to tell about the funny story. I mean, can I say funny story one more time? Okay. I started programming our coffee pot to go off at 4:30 in the morning. That way, if I hit the snooze button, I'm going to smell coffee and I'm going to get up. And it won't put me running behind, dealing with all the animals before I go walking or working out. After I started doing that, I would always do it at night right before I went to bed. I would go ahead and grind the coffee, get everything set up, and hit the program button. And I would go lay down in bed, and I was having trouble getting to sleep, and I was having trouble staying asleep because I can't believe I'm telling y'all this. I was so excited about my cup of coffee in the morning that I couldn't sleep. Like, I would lay down in bed and I could still smell the coffee, and I'm just like, oh, coffee. I cannot wait for my cup of coffee in the morning. So after a couple of nights of not sleeping good, I'm like, I've got to stop. So I quit doing it for a long time because I wasn't sleeping good because I was so excited. I guess I was like a kid at Christmas when it came to my coffee. I think I've settled down a little bit because I started back doing it because it was just one less thing that I have to do in the mornings, and I get my coffee quicker that way. So that was the funny story that I forgot to share with y'all, which is even funnier that I'm having to share it a day later. I'm kind of glad that I'm doing these daily because I catch little things like that I do. I am going to quit chatting so I can get a few more things done before I go to town and get my hair done and all of that. I also want to share with you another project that I want to start. Oh, I already knew I was forgetting something. So while I was editing day 4, I got a lot of progress that I just undid. I got a lot of progress done on the cuff of the sassy fingerless gloves that I'm making. So I'm almost done with the cuff, or I may be done with the cuff. So I'm super excited to be getting this done because I think it's the last Christmas gift that I'm making that's not like a real super quick make like I've already taken them off my desk, like the farmhouse hot pads. Last thing, and then seriously, I'm going to hush and get on with my day. I want to share with you real quick a project that I want to make, and I think this is part of the reason why I'm having trouble with my advents, because my mind is already on this project and I really, really, really want to start it. But 2 things. One, it's one of my Yarn Club colorways from, what month is this? From November. So if you have not received your November Yarn Club package, look away now. Like, throw your phone across the room, close your laptop, whatever. I don't want to ruin one of the colorways. Even though we have a post in the group where people can post the yarn that they received, because there are 3 different colorways, so you still don't know which colorway you're getting. I just don't want to upset any of my Yarn Club members. So if you're a Yarn Club member and you don't want to see one of the colorways, this is your last warning. All right, here it is. This is the colorway Naughty Thoughts. I think I'm so funny. So it's naughty, not naughty, naughty. Knotty. Naughty Thoughts. And I dye extra yarn every month. And once all of the Yarn Club packages were packed up, I looked at the DK weight bin and I'm like, oh my goodness, I want to knit a sweater with that. The only thing is that the next sweater that is on my list to knit was the sweater that I made for my mom, and it's called the Weekend Sweater, right? Pretty sure it's the Weekend Sweater by Darling Jador. It is a worsted weight sweater, so I'm gonna have to gauge swatch. Like, I'm just gonna have to get over it, and I'm gonna have to gauge swatch, or I need to find a DK weight pattern that is super simple. And I know a lot of people don't like the German short rows, but I prefer the German short rows because the first sweater that I knit didn't have them, and it doesn't have that shaping, and it is not flattering on me. I think it's part of the reasons you haven't seen pictures of me in it, because it's just not flattering. Yeah. So if you know of a DK weight sweater, I think I bought one the other night. I need to look because I was having a conversation with Robin, and I think she sent me, see, this is why I can't Facebook or social media at night, because my brain's tired and I forget half this stuff. I actually think I bought a sweater. I don't remember, but hey, I want to make a bunch of sweaters, so I'm always open to sweater options. I'm going to do some research, and when I check back in later today, I can talk like I'm smart. I'll let you know what pattern I bought, and we'll go from there. But I think that's going to make a gorgeous sweater. I only have 5. They're 246 yards each. And look, I think that the like shorter, not crop top sweaters, but like a little bit longer, I think they're adorable on most people, but I want a sweater that just about covers my bottom, like at least half of my bottom, because I've got a big old ghetto booty and I just don't want it hanging out. I just don't. I'm weird about that. I've always been like that. So I always make mine a little bit longer. But I'm also terrible at blocking, so I feel like I can block it to make it. I could probably do the normal size and block it the length that I want, because my mom's sweater turned out so long and so did mine, because I didn't know what I was doing blocking. I thought it was going to shrink up and it did not. So I might be able to fix any yarn shortages with blocking. Okay, I for real got to go. So I'll check back in a little while. I just poured myself a hot cup of cocoa and I'm almost giddy. It has been, I think, a year. I don't know. I may have had some earlier this year. I usually only have it when it's really cold outside. And last fall and winter, like I was having a hot cup of cocoa every single night. Anyways, I'm just giddy. I'm trying not to burn myself because I literally just poured it. But I got some decaf coffee and I'm trying it with decaf coffee instead of water. And I could only find the big marshmallows, so I filled it to about halfway with big marshmallows because I'm the type of person that I like a little bit of cocoa with my marshmallows. Anybody else? I swear I'm like 12. Anyways, like I'm so excited. Let me see. Hopefully I don't burn myself. Oh, if you've never tried it with decaf coffee, you've got to try it. And it's McCafe. I guess it's McDonald's brand. My sweet mother-in-law gave me that bag of coffee. I ordered some, I call it my bougie coffee. I ordered some of my bougie coffee, Black Rifle Company. I ordered some decaf whole bean coffee. So once I'm through this bag, I will get to my bougie coffee. I didn't feel like um, grinding the beans and stuff tonight. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to open this bag and I'm going to go with it. So it is 6:48 p.m. And as you can see, I got my hair did. New do, who dis? I actually really like it. And I love how she styles it. She straightens it. And then she uses a flat iron and puts some curl in it. And it's so cute. So if you like this, just take it all in because this is the last time it's gonna look like this until she does my hair again, because like I told her, I don't even brush my hair. I literally get out of the shower and I towel dry it off and I put product in it and I scrunch it and then I don't touch it until it's dry. I try not to touch it until it's dry. And then every couple of days when I put like conditioner in my hair, I have a wide tooth comb in my shower and I comb through that. And that really helps me with my wavy hair instead of taking a brush to it and stuff like that. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about that, but I love it. I can't wait to style it tomorrow and just see what it looks like. It feels so much better. We got to chatting and she looked at her phone. The last time I messaged her was in March. So it's been like I cannot add. This is the 12th month. I was thinking it was October. Yeah, that's how quickly my brain in the evening, it's like a light switch. It just flips off. So it's been 9 months since I've had my hair done. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I wanted to update you with all the things. Earlier, I was talking about making the same sweater for me that I did for my mom, but it calls for worsted weight and I have DK weight. And then I vaguely remembered having a conversation with Robin about a sweater, and I was like, this is what I want. And I mean, she like 2 seconds later, she's like, here, try this. Or she's like, here, check this out. And it's called the Adult Play Date Tee. And this is what it looks like. Let me see. It also has instructions in the pattern for long sleeves, and it is so cute. And it is by, hold please, Needles and Life. She has a lot of really cute patterns. I think what really turned me on to her was she had like a little blog post about it and she really explained sizing and things like that and like why gauge is important. So I think just the way that she explained it, it clicked for me. So that's why I went ahead and bought the pattern. So I did print it. I figured out my printer. I don't know what's going on. So we had issues Thanksgiving Day with our internet. And it was a whole ordeal. Like my Thanksgiving morning that I was like, I don't have to cook this year. I'm going to sit and knit and relax. It was me messaging a friend trying to figure out how to get us internet again because I was having a Black Friday sale the next day. And I'm like, I cannot be without internet. It was a huge thing. Anyways, they ended up coming. I'm just going to end up telling a story if I try to remember. I think it was the day after I did ship outs or maybe the next day. And I cannot figure out my printer. I don't know how to get my MacBook and my PC to communicate with my printer. The only thing I can print from is my phone, and I don't even know how I do that. I just, out of habit, hit print earlier and it worked. And I was like, oh, it worked. So anyways, okay. There was something else I was supposed to update you on. Okay. I don't remember, but hopefully it'll come back to me. I'm just going to tell you about my afternoon. So I went out and washed the yarn that I dyed yesterday, and then I took Samson for a walk. Let me tell you, that dog, he tests my gangster. Yeah, he did not want to listen. I ended up having to get 9 kinds of crazy on him to get him to listen to me, and he barely listened to me. I think it was the fear in my voice that he listened to. He wanted to go off in the woods up here by our house. Well, there's a big gully right there, and I already had another dog that fell down in there, my Zoe girl. It was a couple years ago. I'd let her out at night, and it was one of those I just wasn't thinking. I let her out and I'm like, oh goodness, I gotta pee. So I just kind of left the door open. And I mean, there's times that I let her out and I wasn't really watching her and she was fine. Usually I didn't do that at night, but I'm like, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick and I'll go back out. And that's what I did. And I went out and I couldn't find her anywhere. And I was fine. I started calling her, and anyways, and then it's like I couldn't find her. So I started freaking out. I come inside, I'm crying. I wake my husband up because I'm sobbing. And he gets his boots on and I put boots on and we go out and we're trying to find her. We're hollering for her. And all of a sudden I hear her panting. And she had fallen down in that gully. And there's one spot that is like this. So I'm in my moo-moo, which it's not attractive, but it's comfortable. And I have like my muck boots on, which are like hunting boots that come up to my knee. And I mean, I didn't even think. I went down there after her. So I'm like climbing down there after her and she's trying to get up the hill, but my big booty Judy girl just didn't have the oomph to get up the hill. It's a lot of booty to drag up there. So I get down to her and I'm like holding on to a tree limb and I don't know how I'm balancing. And then because I couldn't get to her, like I couldn't get on the other side of her. So I'm like holding on to a tree limb and I grab her and she's like 65 pounds. I grab her with my one arm and I like drag her across my body like this. And my husband's up there. So I was able to like kind of like pull myself up a little bit. And I don't know how that little bebe tree held me and that dog. Anyways, I was able to get her to my husband and he was able to get her up, and then I was able to get out. But if it's just a miracle that she did not like break a leg or get hurt or anything like that. And so it freaks me out with Samson because he'll get out there in his own little world and not pay attention. Anyways, it was like a bad adventure today. After that, he just did not want to listen to me. So guess what? I'm like, boy, you finna listen to me. So I made him come inside and calm down. And I put his leash and I put his harness and his leash on him and we went for a walk. And let me tell you, that boy was trying to roll like an alligator. I'm like, I'm just ignoring you. If you want to roll like a little idiot, you can roll. So he just would roll and he'd look at me like waiting for me to like get onto him. And I'm just like, I'm not even giving you any attention. And when he would walk like a good boy, I would tell him he was a good boy. So that was just, yeah, I was so happy. Usually I don't like put him in his kennel or leaving him at the house. I bet I skipped out that door like, bye Felicia. So I went to my hair appointment and I got my hair done. And then I went to Kroger for my pickup order. And y'all, I pull up and we live in a small town. So there's only like 4 pickup order parking spots and there was only 1 open. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm finna get some knit time in. I took my knit sock project because it's one that I can just stop easily on. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm so excited. Put my car in park. I check in, tell them where I'm at. And I reach over and grab my knitting bag and I see the little guy with the cart coming towards me and I'm like, no, go back, pick somebody else. No, I mean, I'm grateful. I really am. I'm grateful that they got to me so quickly, but I was really looking forward to just sitting there and knitting for a minute. Not gonna lie, it crossed my mind to go like park in an empty parking spot and just sit and knit for a bit, but I didn't. I was like, I've got stuff to do, so I'll be an adult and go home. I also caked up my Ruby and Roses day 1 through 5. I think I forgot to tell you the names of the colorways earlier, so we'll get to that, sorry. And then after supper, I'm sitting here in my recliner until I get the second row of my juniper cowl started, and I did. So I started my juniper cowl. I showed it earlier on my little mannequin back here, and I don't know if you can see it, but she's naked. I was cold earlier, so I stole my juniper cowl from her. Poor gal, I just keep taking all her clothing. Ruby and Roses Advent. I am going to go by memory here. I mean, it's only been 5 days, but you know, sometimes I can't remember when it's only been 5 minutes. So we're going to go with it. I believe this was day 1, day 2, day 3. Can I do it? Can I do it? Should we place bets? Day 4 and day 5. I am so stinking excited about these. I think they're going to be absolutely gorgeous. Just in that order. Oh, look at that. Okay. Super excited about that. Day 5. Ooh. Day 5 is Glowing String of Lights. And wow. I'm obsessed with this one. I think one of the only things that I didn't get to on my to-do list this afternoon was to buy the Find Your Fade shawl, but I have it right here. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think I can do it. If not, I have a lot of knitting friends that can probably help me, right? Okay, so I just need to purchase that. And I'm trying to think of what else. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. I have a note here, and I think it was after I recorded earlier to remind me this time to announce that on Vlogmas day 2 and 3, it was the one that was day 2 and 3 in one video. At the very end, I talk about something really fun, a giveaway. So it's a fun little giveaway that I'm doing. So go check out that Vlogmas and I tell you how to get your name entered into that. It's super simple. I just want to have fun. I'm the type of person that I love giving gifts. So this will just be a gift to somebody. So I wanted to make sure that I talked about that because I forgot to in the last video, and I will be announcing the winner of that giveaway on day 6. So tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure I said something tonight. And now I need to make a note for tomorrow. Oh my goodness, I'm going to feel so bad if I forget. So let me make a note. Okay, I wrote myself a note. See, the thing is even when I write a note, there's like a 50-50 chance that I'm going to find the note and then actually listen to what the note says. Because I'll read the note and then I'll get, as you see, I'm like super chatty. I'll get super chatty and then forget. Y'all, I should have never started this. I'm going to want this every single night and I don't need it. I need to try it without marshmallows. No, I don't. They're just, I mean, what's a few more calories when you're drinking hot cocoa? Okay, moving on. Well, that's pretty much a wrap for my day. I got back home from town. My husband and I unloaded groceries and we fixed some supper. We just had leftovers and I got to crochet for just a bit, and now I'm in here talking your ear off. And yeah, it is now 7 o'clock, and I'm gonna go put my feet up for a bit and hopefully get some more crocheting done. I hope that you have a good evening, and I hope that you enjoyed Vlogmas Day 5. Happy yarning. Bye for now.